All right. Guys, January 31st, 2021. It is time for a weekend wrap up. It's the end of the month. End of the first month of 2021. Guys, how was it good? How was it? Was it good for you guys? Wow, there's a lot of stuff to cover this week. A lot of stuff in the news, but also in our dance world. All right. Let's stop the intro sound. Once again, my name is Seach. We are wrapping it up for this week. All right, weekend wrap up. It's Sunday here in California time. Pacific Standard Time is about 9 p.m. All right. So I'm going to talk about earlier this week. I had an interview with my good friend, call him my little brother, David Bortnick, out of Santa Cruz, California. At such a young age, he was able to dance with Gary, my brother Gary Kendall of the Jabberwockies. So if you haven't checked it out, go check it out. Interview with my boy David Bortnick. Such an awesome man, awesome dude. We talked a little bit. Actually, we talked a lot about his history, which is great. But then we also talked about, philosophy, which is great. I think every person, whether you know or you don't, you have some sort of a philosophy in life. And sometimes that philosophy in life can carry over to your dancing, right? I see it very, very early on. When I first trained with Gary, he's just a fun person. His philosophy in life is a little bit different than a lot of people, but then that's what made him unique. And he was able to incorporate that and put into this dance. And having said that, a lot of the people that study under him, such as myself and David, we kind of learn by osmosis as well. Every time I think about him, I think about my other big brothers like Skeeter Rabbit, Pom Pete, all the pioneers of the dance. They have their unique personalities, but along with that, it's philosophy in life. How you treat people, how you allow other people to treat you. Okay, and having the ability to have multiple perspective, not just one perspective. Because if you only have one perspective and you don't have the ability to see different points of view, then it's really easy to be biased, right? So your ability to be able to see from different perspective, that's a big factor is that it's cultural experiences. If you experience a lot of different cultural experiences, you will have the ability to see from different perspective, and that's really, really important. Okay. Anyways, check out David Bortnick's interview. That was from earlier, and then our second interview this week was with my boy Lloyd, OG Jedi Clan. It was so fun talking to him. Along with I remember back talking to David and Lloyd. Actually, all my guests. Every time after we went live, we still chat. Most of it is because I miss my homies, right? I miss my homies. We get to talk a little bit more about personal stuff. But then even then, we still get back to some of the philosophies and things like that. So unfortunately, some of those conversations, weren't recorded, but I definitely do cherish them. So all the stuff that was recorded, feel free to jump back in, on YouTube and search for those interviews. And again, those interviews such as this one will be available on podcasts. So wherever you get your podcasts, you're listening to it now or later in the future, come check it out. And obviously we had our training, our Tuesday, Thursday trainings. So if you're listening to this later on, you want to get some poppin' training and free poppin' training, head over to New Studios or youtube.com/New Studios. My channel, nustudios.com, NU Studios. It's YouTube. I can't say it. youtube.com/New Studios, or head over to Twitch TV and search for Dance with Seach. All right. One thing I want to talk about when I talked about earlier, perspective and things like that. For those that don't know, I teach at community colleges. Okay. teaching at community colleges, and I taught community colleges. I taught at dance studios, co-ed dance studio. I taught at health clubs. So this is, for anybody listening right now, if you're live right now, feel free to jump in. Let me know where you are, who you are, and and how you're doing. But there are so many types of personalities and people that I taught. Right. Most of the time when I teach, I try to teach somebody that wants to learn to dance like I did. All right. Now, this is a tip for teachers as well as students. All right. If you're listening to this, so the different social dynamics of learning. I gotta say this, and I want to just give out all the different perspectives, because when you understand it, then it's really easy. It's easier. Sorry, it's easier to understand where people are coming from. All right. So I'm just gonna give you a scenario. A scenario is this: an instructor. An instructor has to grade. So this is at a community college. At a community college, you're taking a class for either pass, no pass, or a grade, which means the instructor has to evaluate you, right? Does that make sense? At a club, at a health club, do instructors evaluate you? Not necessarily, right? Think about it. If you ever gone to a health club, like a 24-hour fitness, Gold's Gym or something like that, where they're called group exercise instructors. They basically teach a group, whether it's a aerobics class or a Zumba class, hip hop dance class. The purpose of that is to get your exercise, get you moving, right? So you don't really learn techniques on how to dance. You just move around. Whether you're dancing, if you're on beat or you're not, the instructor's not going to stop to tell you. Okay? So a lot of people who go there, they may feel like they're learning to dance, which is fine. But realistically, think about it. If the instructors never told you, hey, this is the technique, make sure you're on beat. If they don't correct you, if they don't evaluate you, how do you really know that you're actually dancing? Did you even ask them? All right. Having said that, if you did ask them, if during class, it's a lot easier for instructors just to be like, dude, you're doing great. You're doing awesome. Because people generally, they just want to hear compliments. Okay. I do too, right? If you give me compliments, I feel great. Thank you. All that stuff. But in reality, deep down, when I want to learn, when I was with Gary, when I was Pop and Pete and Skeeter Rabbit, I tell him, if I'm messing up, please tell me. Don't just tell me, good, because I know what it's like. I know what it's like for, teachers that I don't want to say don't care, but it's a lot easier to tell you that you're doing good versus telling that there's some things you need to fix. Does that make sense, guys? Any of you, if you're a father, if you're a mother, if you're a teacher, you have to spend way more time to correct somebody. Okay, so if you're just like, dude, I want to get out of here. I don't really care about these people. Okay, you're gonna just say, hey, you're doing great job. All right, see you next week. It makes them feel good. It makes your class grow. Just tell all your students that they're doing great. Okay, this is think about it, guys. This is what's going on, especially at health clubs, right? Oh man, you're doing great. Oh man, you're killing it, man. You're doing awesome in this class. You're dancing. If you really want that, that's fine. I'm not saying don't do that. But what I'm saying is there's a reason why a lot of people lose battles. Well, obviously, there's only one person that could win a battle. But to win a battle, you got to be on beat. You're comparing to somebody else. Does that make sense? So if you're in this to really improve, you got to seek out somebody that's going to tell you how to improve. Not just that you're doing great. Think about it. If you're doing great already, wouldn't you be winning contests already? Well, you could say that, oh, the other person's better. Okay, good. Well, he's better. Do you want to get better, or are you just happy being where you are? If you're just happy being where you are, there's nothing wrong with just being where you are. I'm not saying, you have to get better. But what I am saying is if you want to get better, you got to seek true knowledge, right? You got to really seek somebody who's going to be honest with you and tell you how you could get better. I'm not saying seek somebody that's going to beat you up and tell you suck. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying get somebody that's going to work with you, honestly, give you some good steps, good tips on how to get better. If your instructor never tells you that, how are you actually getting better? If all they're telling you is you're doing great, excellent, excellent. Does that make sense? Okay. So now, having said that, most of us don't really like to hear, dude, we did something wrong. We did something bad. Okay. We have to kind of get over that. If you really think about it, if you hear somebody say, hey, you did that wrong, initially there's a negative feeling, and you're just like, I don't want to say you, we, me. If somebody tells you I did something wrong, I'm going to feel like, oh, damn, I messed up. Okay. Because it's an innate feeling, right? Maybe when you're young, your teachers or your parents say, hey, you messed up, so now you got to get punished. There's the punishment for it. Usually there's punishment for mistakes or errors. Okay. But we kind of have to get over that. This is not, as an instructor, I'm not going to punish you. I'm just saying, hey, this is what you did. That's not what I see is correct. Do it this other way. That's going to help you. Okay. There's no penalty. Well, the penalty actually is if you don't fix it, you're going to keep dancing like that. And you're not going to improve. That's really the penalty. But at the moment, if nobody tells you that you're not doing anything, if you're not doing anything to fix it, then you're going to continually doing that. And, Skeeter Rabbit always tells me, I'd rather you hate me now and love me later than love me now and hate me later. This happens all the time, guys. Got a lot of students that's taking classes from I don't know who for many, many years, and they think they're great. All right. I don't want to be the person to tell them you're not that good. All right. They have to see it themselves. Okay. But as an instructor, if you're in my class, I have to be honest with you. I have to tell you, look, first thing I tell everybody is you got to be on beat. If you're not on beat, I could show you that you're not on beat, and I could show you how to be on beat. That's the number one thing. If you're not on beat, it's not like saying I'm laughing at you, I'm trying to embarrass you. It's just me telling you, look, you got to work on that first. And there's so many people that maybe have been dancing for many years, okay? Whether you've performed on stage or whatever, some even professionally, such as myself. Me personally, I was a professional dancer, and when it came to popping, like truly popping, I was off beat. Just by a little bit. I mean, most people probably couldn't even tell. But Skeeter Rabbit, bless him, man. He's such a big brother, big mentor to me. He explained to me, I mean, he didn't really say, you whack or anything like that, but he showed me that, yeah, I was off beat. Okay. He did it in a very, very professional way. And I had to beg him. I had to ask him. I was like, look, how can I, what am I doing? What am I doing wrong? Okay. Just tell me, give it to me. You don't need to sugarcoat things. I know, a lot of people like to sugarcoat things and stuff like that. And I would say 99% of my students rather have it sugarcoated. All right. So my experience in teaching is like, okay, I'm going to try to, I want them to know, I want everybody to know that as an instructor, my goal, look, I want to help you get better. And the best way that I can know how is if I put myself in your shoe. Okay. Sometimes the feeling might get hurt, but you just got to understand that. So here's the perspective, right? If you're a student, you got to understand what it's like to be an instructor, to honestly give you a feedback. If you're the instructor, how would you give somebody the feedback that they're not on beat and they could do better? And how can they do better? I want you guys to really, really think about that, right? As a student. So when you ask your instructor how to do that, let them know, first of all, hey, thank you for teaching me. And I know it's going to be pretty hard to give me feedback. I'm trying to get better. Okay, whatever you tell me is fine. You know, I'm not gonna be a baby about it. Okay, that's the first and foremost that you gotta do if you're a student and you want to get better. And as an instructor, we gotta make time. Okay, if you're an instructor, you gotta make time to let those students know. I know not every student's ready, so I'm not telling you to go tell every student that yo you're offbeat this and that. You know, so most students aren't ready, and for those students that aren't ready, continue to just say, hey, you know, you're doing a great job, keep coming, because I know what it's like. You're trying to run a class. This is your living. I understand. You know, when you're trying to be super honest with somebody and telling them how they can improve, they could take it the wrong way and they'll be like, "Yeah, this person's a jerk." But in reality, in your own heart, I know you're trying to help them, and I know you probably won't do it anymore because if you were like me, you tried it before. You were honestly trying to help somebody, and then they took it. You know, they're just so used to people lying to them. Now they're thinking you're just a jerk. So, anyways, this is I have to get that off my chest because this happens so much. All right. So and especially guys, I'm telling you, I really one of the things I really hate about teaching uh, some so-called advanced dancers or intermediate or advanced dancers is because they've taken classes with other people that lied to them already. So they were under the lie, under the spell that they've been, wow, I've been doing good for 5 years. I've been dancing since I was 5 years old. I've been dancing since this and that. You know, I performed here and here. So they started telling me all the resumes, why they're so good. All right. That has nothing to do with how they cannot stay on beat. Does that make sense, guys? So everybody who's a student right now, okay? First of all, that's why I said record yourself. Record yourself so you can study yourself. Okay? That's what I do with my students. Look, study it, record it, and I'll work with you. Let's watch the video. Number one, my criteria in grading is, are you on beat? Okay? I give you a perfect score if you didn't miss any beat. It's just like the analogy is this. Record yourself singing. Did you sing the entire song perfectly? If you did, then that's a 10 or a 100 or whatever. It's perfect. If you didn't do a perfect job, then you're not going to get a perfect score. Simple as that, right? If you make mistakes, then I'm going to say this is where you made mistakes. If you make more mistakes, then I'll say you made a lot of mistakes. You made a mistake here, 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 here. Would you rather me tell you that? Or would you rather me lie and say, hey, you're doing a great job? So I want you guys to think about it, right? If you are a dance student, if you either hire somebody, you're going to hire that person to tell you how to get better, or you're hiring that person to tell you that you're doing great. Which would you want? Okay? And the thing is, I have more problems with people who've taken classes already. You know, I've taken classes 3 years already. I've taken classes 5 years already. Okay, and then they come and they ask, you know, and then when somebody tells them, like me, that says, hey, you didn't do this right. You're offbeat here, offbeat there. Then they get mad. It's not like that. Okay. Truly humble yourself and understand why, and study it. Study it to see if that's really true. Yo, what's up? I see you pop in. You Roz, how's it going, brother? See you right there. Cool. I was just letting people know the mindset, the mentality that you gotta have. Not just you, any student who's trying to learn. All right. Again, I was giving different perspective as if I was an instructor versus a student. Okay. So this is important. And again, there are different students. I was one type of student. I've seen so many different types of student as an instructor right now. And I'm telling you, I've been teaching for over 20 years. Teaching since 1998. What is it, 2021? So what is that, 23 years, something like that? I'm still learning. I'm still learning because it's teaching the dance is the easiest part. It's understanding my students, the psychology of it. That's the toughest part. Okay. It's at the beginning, at the beginning stage of my teaching, it was I was oblivious to the different type of personality, different type of students. I assumed everybody was like me, and I assumed that it was okay to just tell them and be honest, 100% honest, and tell them exactly what I see and how they can improve. But that's not good. The reason why that's not good is because that's not taking into consideration some of some of how different people learn. You know, a lot of people like that positive positive reinforcement, that positive feedback, like, hey, you are doing good, but try it this way. You know what I mean? Versus when I was first learning, I wanted somebody to tell me immediately what I'm doing wrong so I can fix it. That's what I wanted, right? But not everybody wants that. Everybody wants to hear, dude, you did so good. All right, good, good, good. They want to hear out of 10, they did 9 things perfect, and there's just that one thing they could do easily, and they could become a 10 plus 10, right? That's what most people want to do. I guarantee you that. Even if you think you don't, deep down, you're hoping, that somebody's going to tell you, dude, you did so good. All you got to do is just turn just a little bit, and now you're going to be a master. That's bullcrap. That's bullcrap. Okay? Everybody that, deep down, if you're thinking about that, you got to get that shit out of your mind. What's going to make you great is the hours and the persistence that you put in compared to the greatness of the people that you've seen. Does that make sense? If you want to dance like this person, whoever that person is in your mind, okay? For me, it was Poppin' Pete, Skeeter Rabbit, those guys. I looked at them as legends. Wiggles, all the legends. I looked at them. I said, they are the standard. To me, they are the standard. If I can't meet that standard, I should just shut the fuck up before I say anything. You know what I mean? How many hours have they trained already? How do I expect to be like them if I don't practice like them? How do can I just go, hey, Pete, just give me that one tip. Do I just turn like this and I'm going to be good? Of course not. It's an insult to them to think that way. You know what I mean? What you got to do is say, wow, how did you get so good? And they tell you, they live it. What does that mean? They live it. How do you live dance? Well, when they get up, they dance. When they're standing, when they're cooking, they dance. When they're standing in line at a store, they dance. When they're in the car, they dance. When they're eating, when they're chatting, when they're watching the TV, whatever they do, they're dancing. Does that make sense now? So if you are a person that goes, oh man, I got to put in my calendar that I got to practice from Tuesday and Thursday from this time to this time, I got to do all this stuff, and you jot down exactly how much you practice, by comparison, you did a little fraction of what they did. So the result of what you're going to do is going to be a fraction of what they do. There's no comparison to guys like them. I'm using them as an example. There's so many great dancers now that does that. A lot of great dancers from Europe, from France, from the US, from Asia. I don't need to name any names, because if you're a fan of this, you already know who I'm talking about. You probably already have some of your favorite dancers that you watch already. I guarantee you, those people that are winning the battles, they're living it. They don't just say, oh, all I did was tweak just a little bit and I got hella good. No way, guys. All right. So if this is the lifestyle, if this is what you're searching for, then you got to really understand that. Now, I'm not saying everybody has to do that, because this course, what I'm trying to do is just give perspective, guys. there's a broad range of dancers. You know what I mean? Range of dancers and love ability. You have guys who are so at the top, so at the top. These are the guys that live it, breathe it. They're constantly dancing, they're constantly teaching, they're constantly traveling and touring, and they're constantly doing it, guys. Okay? If you're not that, do not expect your result to be like that. Okay? This is the 10. This is the 10. You know what I mean? This is the top of the top. This is a perfect score. And if you come to me and you ask me, hey, do I have a perfect score? It's so easy for me to say, like, well, look at you. No. Look at what they do and look at what you do. No. The reason why no, look, this is your film. This is their film. Look at the difference. They're on beat. You're off beat. That's it. And don't get mad when I tell you that. Does that make sense? And the reason why isn't because the way you look or the way you dress, or isn't because I like them more, I like you less. Nothing to do with that. It's just skill versus skill. Understand? It's really simple when it's on film. It's really simple. Dance to the same song. Dance to the same song. Dude, there's no comparison. It's easy. But the thing is, sometimes when I give critique with that, people will be like, why are you mean to me? If you don't like it, don't ask for the critique. And that's why a lot of people don't ask for the critique, and that's why they're consistently the same level. It's almost like hiding in their bubble, bubble of their illusion of how good they are. Okay. And again, if you want to stay in that, cool, be my guest. That's all good. But if you really want my opinion, you could tell me, Siege, I want your honest opinion. Or you could tell me, give me a heads up. Siege, lie to me. Tell me I'm good. I'll do that for you too if you want to. Does that make sense? Anyways, guys, this is me being honest with you guys, and I hope you guys appreciate this. It's not easy to be honest and blatantly tell everybody, how they're doing. So if you are out there as an instructor, this is my advice to you. Not every student is ready. Be your own judge of knowing when to give honest criticism, because some students think they're honest. Some people, some students think they are. And again, I'm not saying, how do I say this? And some teachers don't know how to give good criticism as well. Okay, I understand. Some teachers, they may seem like they're mean, but it's not that they're mean. It's just they just don't know how to deliver it the way you like it. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. So, anyways, that is my tip. That is my wrap up for this weekend. I hope what I said makes sense to you guys. Anybody that's out there listening, either in the future or right now, feel free to rewind back if you need to and share this clip. I think a lot of people really, really need to hear this. All right, and really understand, like, dude, you just need to be in different roles, different situations, If you want to be a really, really good student, try being a teacher one time. Right? And if you've been a teacher for a long time, try being a student for a few times. Okay? So for example, there's a lot of people who've been teaching for a long time, and they forgot what it's like to be a student. Go take a class that's not in your realm. Okay? So like if you're a hip hop instructor, maybe go take a salsa class or something like that. If you're a ballet instructor, go take a hip hop class. Vice versa, do something that you're not comfortable with. Shoot, if you're great in all dance, then go take a computer science class, something that's really hard for you, and feel what it's like to get criticized from an instructor to tell you that you're screwing up. I know it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good, and I understand that, but we all need to get over that if we really want to get better in whatever field. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense, man. At least it makes sense to me, and I feel like I needed to share that with my audience, with you guys. Okay. So once again, last week I wanna give a big shout out, big thanks to David Bortnick, a brother from Santa Cruz. All right, very very successful. If anybody out there in Santa Cruz right now, if you're looking for a great studio, it would be Pacific Art Complex, PAC. Okay, and again, I am also teaching out there at Cabrillo College. Semester had already started, so obviously you won't be able to join us this semester. However, feel free to join me here. It's free, it's live, it's on YouTube, so it's there. But if you do want to seek, personal private instructors, hit me up. dancewithseach.com. dancewithseach.com. And you guys see this on my Twitch right here and on my YouTube right here. Okay. So second guy, another big shout out to the brother Lloyd, Jedi, Mind Trick family. Drop gold knowledge, a lot of Bay Area history. Really, I'm really proud to be a part of the Bay Area dance history, Bay Area hip hop dance history. So I hope that I can continue this, even with this wrap up being on podcast. Hopefully, I don't know how long this podcast and these videos will be, available online. I don't know. Right now, this is the year 2021. Okay, I don't know. It'd be interesting if somebody out there is listening to this right now, and if it's 2031, 2051. I don't know. Hopefully, I'm not dead yet. But feel free to look me up. Just drop me a hello. Let me know if this message, if this podcast, if this video meant something to you. All right, I love to hear that. So thank you guys for listening. I really appreciate it. This week coming up, we got more interesting guests to share their valuable lessons, their valuable knowledge. Of course, that's going to be Tuesday, Thursday, 9 p.m. Or actually Tuesday, Thursday during the day, but at night, that's when we're going to come back and we're going to do some popping drills. All right. So that's it, guys. I appreciate you guys hanging around. Appreciate you guys listening. Until next time, keep it funky. And always remember, this is a saying that I always want to say, and I sometimes forget. It is impossible to stop a person who will never quit. I would really want you guys to really think about that. It is impossible to stop a person who will never, ever quit. Try to be that person. Try to be impossible to stop, because you will always achieve your goal if you never, ever quit. Guys, I am Seach, and I am out. Peace.